Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Louise. I talk about how to engage with fashion in more conscious and sustainable ways. Today's episode will be a little bit different. I want to be completely transparent on my channel, and I have been going through a little bit of a setback when it comes to shopping. I am a little bit keen to shop. I feel like I've talked about this before, but I definitely have a tendency to comfort myself with shopping. So if I'm going through a little bit of a stressful time in my life, then I turn to shopping because it makes me feel a little bit better. So whilst I haven't gone off on like a major shopping spree and bought everything that I've seen, I've definitely bought more items than I feel proud of. It's been a little bit like when I've been getting dressed in the morning, I found myself thinking, oh, I'm so tired of this jacket, or I wish I had those sneakers, like they would just make this outfit a lot better. I've even like thought negative things about stuff that I use and love. And I know that rationally I do have enough clothes. Like I don't actually need to buy anything. Yet when I get dressed in the morning, my old clothes, they just don't hit the same way anymore. I've been thinking like, is there something wrong with my clothes? No, they fit me and they're well taken care of. And since I started working and I graduated university and I've been earning more money, I've been able to buy more quality pieces of clothing, which I'm really thankful for. So most of my clothes are in good condition. So why don't I want to wear them? And why do I feel the need to buy new clothes? So I did some research and here's what I found. The human brain is made to seek reward. Did you know that the human brain is wired to seek novelty and new experiences? Buying new things trigger a sense of excitement and anticipation as we look forward to using or experiencing items for the first time. And this goes for any item, not just clothing. And this excitement can release dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter which is associated with pleasure or reward. So the act of shopping is instantly gratifying. So if you find that buying new items is enjoyable, it's not that strange, it's human. Novelty is really useful in finding food and sourcing new information and exploring the world around us. It makes sure we don't get stuck, and it gives us the opportunity to do even better. This is a quote from Dr. Karmakar, an assistant professor of consumer psychology at UC San Diego's School of Global Policy and Strategy. In an article called Why Do We Keep Buying New Clothes?, she explains how humans need this neurological process to survive. One example of this is how our brain associates finding food in like a new location as a good thing. And this response worked really well for prehistoric humans. But in modern society, as our brains associate new with good, ultimately, we have ended up in a loop of overconsumption. The thing is that over time, our brains shrink reward value in order for us to learn new things, which is good. But this makes us also need to buy more and more in order to achieve the same feeling of reward or joy that we got the first time. I won't go into too much detail here, but I will link the article down below for you to read. The article is written by Arcana Ram and it's published on Patagonia's website. Another reason that we shop is escapism. And I'm sure you've heard or seen of this old quote from like Tumblr. It's stressed, depressed, but well dressed. So feelings of stress, boredom, or sadness can make you want to welcome a distraction. I can certainly relate to this one because I tend to act emotionally at times. So as I mentioned in the beginning, when I feel stressed out or sad about something in my life, I often turn towards shopping as a way to comfort myself. Something that helps me when I'm on the verge of going shopping, when I know that I shouldn't, is that I turn toward another form of distraction, such as reading a book, or maybe going working out, or trying a new food recipe. If you can relate to this one, please let me know if you have any other tips on how to distract yourself. Today, when shopping is so easy, you can just unlock your phone and do it because the whole internet is just there. We literally have a whole world at our fingertips, and we're also encouraged to buy. All of the advertisements, they just have one clear message, and it's for you to consume. And they all reinforce the message that new is good, old is bad. Oftentimes, you may feel like if you just buy this item, then you'll be happy again and you will feel better. And I'm not here to judge. Having ups and downs is part of life, and we should definitely treat ourselves to nice things every now and then. But I do think that there is a difference between doing so once in a while and making a habit out of it. I also think that if you are shopping for this reason, you can try and shop more consciously. You can allow yourself to buy that really nice quality item that you wanted for a while, or maybe you can buy it from a conscious brand or secondhand. This year I am going to try and stop buying from fast fashion brands altogether. It's going to be difficult, but I'm going to do my best and I'm going to let you know how I get on. Another aspect is that society deems some old clothes cool and some not. So I listened to a great podcast. It's called Sustain This. The podcast is hosted by Signe, Christina, and Alyssa. And I think that they are three great role models when it comes to engaging with fashion in more sustainable ways. If you don't already, you should definitely follow them on Instagram or YouTube. I will link their channels down below. But in a recent episode called Why Don't We Wear Our Clothes to Death Anymore?, they bring up a few theories, including how often we declutter our closets and how we compare ourselves to celebrities on social media. One of my favorite takeaways from this episode is reframing how we see old items. Why is it that we consider certain pieces of clothing to look cooler when they're distressed or worn in? And in fact, so many items these days, they're designed to look older. Like from a distressed pair of jeans or a leather jacket or like a faded wash t-shirt. They also bring up an example with a specific photo of, I think it's Mary Kate. She's wearing this very old like Birkin leather handbag. And Vogue also did an article on this called Take Pride in Your Beat Up Bags. And in the article, they argued that the more worn in your bag is, the better. So it seems that in the case of like certain accessories or certain materials, or even if worn by a specific person, society has decided that that's cool. But if you wear clothes that you have owned for years, they need to be replaced. And it's an interesting discussion, so I will link the podcast episode down below. This brings me to my next topic, which is the fast fashion industry. We all know that fast fashion feeds off trends. Its sole existence is based on the idea that new is better. But let's talk a little bit about trends. Trends in fashion are items or aesthetics which come and go in cycles. There are micro and there are macro trends. Micro trends are short-lived as they evolve faster than macro trends, which exist on a global scale. There are 5 stages to the life cycle of a fashion trend. There's introduction, rise, peak, decline, and obsolescence. And this describes the journey from when a certain design is first shown on the runway to when it becomes mainstream to when finally most people would agree that the trend has died. And once the trend has died, the fashion industry will tell you that you can't wear this anymore. This creates a hype around the item, which is trending at the moment. It also makes everyone pine for the same item at the same time. And when it's not in trend anymore, everyone wants to get rid of it. Basically, how we consume fashion is ruled by trends. If you've ever seen the movie The Devil Wears Prada, there is a great scene which explains how we all buy into trends, whether we want to or not. I feel like I reference this movie a lot, but it's a good movie, so if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. If there were no trends, would we consume less? Definitely. That's why I want to focus on personal style rather than fashion trends. Style is a much broader term. It's used to describe certain ways or manners in which we do something. So for instance, style is how we carry ourselves, how we present ourselves to the world, how we behave, how we dress. You can buy into a trend, but you can style it in your own unique way. I think that everyone can buy fashion, but your style, that's up to you. If you're curious to learn more about the difference between fashion and style, as well as how to develop your own personal style, then you should download my ebook. It's called How to Develop Your Style. It's a PDF that you can download digitally. It contains some exercises to help you understand your own buying behavior, define key pieces in your closet, and what to consider before going shopping. And you can download this on my website. Lastly, sometimes buying new is the easier or even cheaper option than repairing what we already have. You may have experienced this in other scenarios, such as like when you break your phone and the phone salesperson tells you that the cost of repair will basically be the same as getting a new phone. And I personally feel quite discouraged by this. Like the fact that producing new products, then repairing them is wild. And that's why I think it's so important to read up on garment care, to be careful with your clothes, but also like learning how to mend them and remembering that most faults can often be fixed. So I'm currently planning a video about garment care, so stay tuned for that one. But that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to like and share it with a friend. You can follow me on Instagram or visit my website louisewears.com to download one of my ebooks, which I mentioned previously in the video. I hope you have the best week and I will see you next Sunday. Bye!